Hey guys, Set 10 has completely changed the way forecast carry compositions are played, so today we're going to go through the changes and the new strategy for playing these comps. Okay, so before we get into the changes and new strategy, I just want to quickly give an overview of the old strategy to help give the context around why these changes are so big. In Set 9, when playing a forecast carry composition, the typical strategy was to level to 7 at 4-1 to get a 15% chance to hit, and then roll down for your forecast units to stabilise your board. Depending on your health and econ up to this point, this could mean simply rolling down to 30, or in some cases you might roll all the way down to 0. So why will this no longer work in Set 10? In Set 10, Riot has introduced changes that mean rolling at level 7 for forecasts is very inefficient, the first of which is the changes to XP. In Set 10 they have reduced the amount of XP needed to level to 6, 7, 8 and 9, and they've also added in the ability to level to 10. By doing this, they have made the leveling curve a lot smoother and more appealing to level up than in previous sets. The next change is the odds of finding units in your shop at each level. In Set 9 your odds of finding a forecast at level 7 was 15%, and now in Set 10 that has been reduced to 10%, which means with every roll at level 7 you're now 5% less likely to find forecasts in your shop. 5% might not seem like a lot, but when you take into account the fact that it was a small percentage to begin with, it's a big nerf to hitting forecasts at level 7. Rolling at level 8 in Set 10 also has reduced odds compared with Set 9, with the chance of hitting a forecast reduced by 7%, but you'll see why that isn't as impactful with the final change that has put the nail in the coffin for rolling down at level 7. And that change is actually the new mechanic, Headliner. If you're not familiar with the new mechanic, I'd suggest looking at my Set 10 reveal video, which has a section explaining the mechanic and how it works. Basically it means you will see 2-star units in your shop called Headliners, which have an added bonus associated with them. The reason why this change is so important for the new strategy is that seeing a different costed Headliner in your shop has its own odds, and to see a forecast Headliner in your shop, you have to be at least level 8, and it will be at 30% chance rather than a standard forecast at 18%. So at level 8 in Set 10, not only will you have an 18% chance to see a forecast in your shop, but you'll also have a 30% chance to see a 2-star forecast with an additional bonus. It's worth noting if you already have a Headliner on the board, you'll only see a new one in the shop once every 4 shop rerolls, but if you don't then you will see one in every shop. So if we put these changes together to get the full picture, it costs less XP to level, making it more efficient to reach a higher level. You have lower odds of hitting a forecast at level 7, making it less efficient to roll down for a forecast. And now at level 8 you will have a 30% chance of seeing a 2-star forecast in the shop, with that being every shop if you don't have a Headliner, making it very efficient. With these changes in place, it now means that it will rarely, if ever, be the right decision to roll at level 7 in order to find a forecast unit. So now we've gone through the changes, what's the new strategy? I'm sure it's pretty obvious by now, but the main strategy is to level to 8 instead of 7 before rolling down to find your forecasts. Depending on your ordnance and econ, you'll still be hitting level 7 at the same time as before, around 3-5 to 4-1, but instead of rolling down to stabilise, you'll conserve your econ to level to 8. Depending on your health, you may want to slightly roll down, but rather than looking for forecast units to stabilise, you'll look for a 3-cost Headliner. With the XP changes, leveling to 8 is much easier, and unlike Set 9 where you are most likely leveling to 8 at 5-1 and sometimes at 4-5, it's more like the other way around where in most games you're hitting level 8 at stage 4-5 and in some cases at 5-1. If you do hit level 8 at 4-5 and you're still relatively stable, you also don't have to roll down straight away and you can instead econ back up to roll down at 5-1. When you're rolling down at level 8 for a forecast, make sure to sell your Headliner first so that you can guarantee a new one in every shop, else you'll only see one in every 4 shops. And finally, and maybe most importantly, don't commit to finding the perfect forecast Headliner. Flex is king in Set 10, and finding a forecast Headliner that fits your composition and items is much better than rolling all of your gold to find the perfect one. For example, if you're playing Disco with TF Carry, but you find a Disco Headliner like Blitzcrank in your first shop reroll, then you'll be much better off getting the Blitzcrank and conserving your gold than continuing to roll for the TF Headliner. And that's it for this video. If you found this helpful, consider liking and subscribing to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one for more Set 10 content and guides.